Have you ever wondered what the world looked like before the Great Flood? It was not a peaceful place filled with kindness and hope. It was a world drowning in violence, greed, and corruption. People had forgotten their Creator. They chased power instead of truth, wealth instead of compassion, and pleasure instead of righteousness. Yet in the middle of that darkness, there was one man whose heart remained faithful. His name was Noah. This is not just the story of a giant ark or an extraordinary flood. It is the story of unwavering faith, impossible obedience, and a God who always keeps his promises. Thousands of years ago, humanity had multiplied across the earth. Cities were growing. Families were expanding. People celebrated their own achievements and believed they no longer needed God. Every day, evil became stronger. Violence filled the streets. Dishonesty became normal. The weak were ignored while the powerful ruled without mercy. The Bible tells us that the thoughts of people's hearts were continually evil. It grieved God to see what his beautiful creation had become. Imagine a father watching his children destroy everything he lovingly built. Imagine planting a beautiful garden only to watch it become overrun with weeds and thorns. That was the sorrow God felt as he looked upon the earth. But among millions of people, one man walked differently. Noah did not follow the crowd. He honored God when others mocked him. He chose integrity when deception was easier. He trusted God's voice even when no one else believed. The Bible describes Noah as a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and one who walked faithfully with God. That didn't mean Noah was perfect. It meant his heart belonged to God. Every morning, while others chased selfish desires, Noah sought the Lord. Every evening, while others celebrated wickedness, Noah remained faithful. God saw him. God always sees those who remain faithful, even when the whole world walks in another direction. One day, everything changed. The Lord spoke to Noah with words that no human had ever heard before. Noah, the earth has become filled with violence. I will bring judgment upon it, but I will establish my covenant with you. Can you imagine hearing those words? The future of humanity now rested on one family's obedience. God gave Noah instructions unlike anything ever imagined. Build an ark, not a house, not a small fishing boat, an enormous ark large enough to preserve life during a flood unlike anything the world had ever seen. At first, the command must have sounded impossible. There had never been a flood like this. Many scholars believe that widespread rainstorms may not even have existed in the same way people experience them today. Yet God asked Noah to prepare for something no one had ever witnessed. Faith often begins where human understanding ends. God described every detail: the length, the width, the height, the rooms, the door, the windows, even the exact materials Noah should use. This wasn't a suggestion, it was a divine blueprint. Imagine Noah standing in an open field, staring across the land where God had called him to begin. There were no construction companies, no heavy machinery, no cranes, no modern tools. Only God's command, and Noah's choice to obey. Many people would have laughed. You're building what? An ark? For a flood? What flood? Their laughter probably echoed across the hills. Children may have pointed and laughed. Neighbors likely whispered behind his back. Some probably called him crazy. Others may have thought he had lost his mind. But Noah never stopped. Day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. He kept building, not because he understood everything, but because he trusted the one who did. That is what true faith looks like. Faith is continuing to obey when you cannot yet see the outcome. Every hammer strike was an act of worship. Every wooden beam declared, "I trust God." Every exhausting day proved that Noah believed God's promises more than people's opinions. His wife stood beside him. His sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, worked faithfully alongside their father. Their wives joined them. Together, they built not only an ark, they built a testimony. Generation after generation has remembered Noah because he chose faith over fear. Years passed. The massive ark slowly rose against the horizon. People continued living their ordinary lives. They married, they celebrated, they traded in the markets. They ignored God's warning. Life seemed completely normal. But while the world laughed, God's plan was quietly unfolding. Every board placed upon the ark brought history one step closer to the moment when heaven itself would open. No one realized that the days of mercy were drawing near their end. No one except Noah. And still, he kept building.